Hello and welcome to Flower Power Tutorials. This is Brandy, and today I'm going to do my first tutorial for Printify. This is my print-on-demand supplier that I use for my store, that I sell items via Etsy, and then through Etsy I also have a website. Over here is my Etsy shop. Over here is my website, flowerpowerdesign.com or flowerpower.gifts. And you can see I've got a number of different items. What I'm going to be looking at today is dresses. I've got a couple different styles of dresses here. I've got my racerback dresses, and then I have these t-shirt dresses, and I basically am somewhat limited on what is available through Printify and what they offer, but there's a new style of dress that I found that I prefer over these t-shirt dresses. I mean, these are nice and everything, and if this will come up, there we are. This is what I'm going to actually work on. These are nice, but they haven't sold as well, and I think it's because they're a bit shorter. They were never my number one, but favorite. But I did kind of like having something with sleeves versus the racerbacks. But now that I've got a different option, I'm going to go ahead and change those over. So we'll go back to Printify here. Now I'm right up here at my products. You can see in the green up here at the top. And this is just a listing of everything, and it's basically in the order of the last thing you did anything with going on down. So I'm going to do a search just for the word dress. I don't have that many of them. Anything, by the way, that says hidden just means that I am not actually posting it to Etsy for different reasons. There's a racerback dress. There's hippie flowers dress, which I just went into, but you can see this is the new style. It doesn't have sleeves, but I like the fuller skirt, and because the others haven't really been selling, I'm going to go ahead and switch over and try these. I think a longer dress will be more popular. That's a lot of what you're doing when you're a small-time seller, is really trying to figure out what buyers are looking for. So this is what I've got in the way of dresses. The one I'm going to do is down here at the bottom, my irises, Van Gogh irises. So what you do is you can see it shows published, and you're going to go all the way to the right to these little three dots, these ellipses over here. These give you some other options, and the one I want is to replace. And then you want to go to catalog. Now I could drill through and go women's clothing and go find dresses, but I happen to know this is called a skater dress, so I just type skater. There's the dress. It only has one print supplier, and this will show you the prices: 21, 26, shipping 609. I'll go into that a little bit later, but that's good to kind of know that your total cost on this is going to be about 27 and a half. I sort of keep that in my head. So I'm going to go select and continue, and then it's got this little, it's trying to be helpful there. Now in this case, because this dress is so much different, it clears out any of my print pictures that I had on here, and this is the background color that I've got from the Van Gogh irises. And I actually will show you how I did that in a second, but what I'm going to want to do is I have to go find my irises. So I'm going to go to my library, and one thing is let me see if irises work. Irises, it does a wildcard. But one thing I've done with all my pictures on Printify is gone ahead and changed from the default name, which is just random letters, numbers, and actually put real names on the pictures. When I've got hundreds in here and I want to go into my library, being able to actually type in something like irises and find things makes life a lot easier. So I'm going to go ahead and select this, and I accidentally selected two, so I'll just delete that one. So here's the picture, and it kind of guesses what you want. And this is a much different style of dress, the way the fabric cuts. So I have to kind of see how I want to lay this out. It's got it at 25.69. Oh, here's one thing I want to do. I don't just want to sell it in a large, I want it in all sizes. One thing I really do look for, because I'm a larger woman, is to make sure that I offer items in larger sizes. So I kind of like the way that looks, but I know that those straps, even though they show they're outside the print area, they are going to be printed. I'm going to go ahead and try something, and a good bit of this is trial and error. I'm going to create a pattern, and that does exactly what you see. It carries the pattern up above, but you can kind of see lines. I don't really like that much. So here's where I'm going to change the scale significantly from about 30 up to 50. And you can see that's actually maybe a little bit big. Let me drop it down 45. And I'm looking for where these green lines are and how much. I've got plenty side to side. It's the top bottom because this piece of fabric we're looking at is taller than it is wider. I'm going to drop that down another 5. I still have a little bit of play. You just sort of keep trying to find the best option. So here's 38. And you can see it doesn't have that much give now. The thing is, I really want to get some of the pretty irises in there. And maybe if I pull it down. Some of them are going to show up on the straps too. So for now, you can see down here at the bottom, I have this little bit of a tiling thing where you can see some of the green and all down at the bottom. I'm going to kind of leave it where it's at, and I'm going to preview it and see what it looks like. The next thing we want to look down here is at the very bottom of the screen. You have these buttons. They do different things. This will flip the picture side to side, horizontally. Makes it look weird. This will turn your irises upside down. That's your vertical flip. The others are center, but what I want is the 5th button over, which is where it looks like 3 pieces of paper together. And that applies it to all print areas, which is a good way to get started. I can see over here my scale is 38. If I go to, this is the back top, and what it's done is it's gone ahead rather than me have to go in and select the picture on every single one. By applying to all print areas, it takes care of that. Yeah, and I'm just trying to center it up and see. A lot of this is going to be some trial and error. Now, here's one thing you can see where the the tiling did not work. You can see the lines and everything. This is on the skirt, and so 38 doesn't work. I'm going to probably want to go up significantly more and drag it down a little bit. I kind of like that. I got a little bit of lines on the side, so I'm going to take it up 65. Okay. Drag that down, see a few more of the irises. I'm really looking at the side to side on this. So now if this is 65, obviously the bottom back, you're going to want the same size. And drag it to where the flowers are. Of course, this picture of Van Gogh's has this one interesting white iris in it. Um, We're going to go with that for right now. And one thing you do see, and this carried over from my previous dress, is this background color is actually a hex code. And I pulled that using the eyedropper tool in Photoshop. I picked a specific green out of the irises for the background color. And that was more important on the other style of dress where it had um, I haven't published the changes yet. You can see the collar here, the green matches just about exactly. Um, and I did that by very carefully using that eyedropper and finding the right hex code to put in here. There's some default background colors, but if you really want to get your exact, that's how you do it. Let's go ahead and preview. I do not expect this to be perfect on the first try. Doesn't look horrible. You can see on up the straps I've got more of the irises. I actually don't mind this too much. Let's see what the back looks like. Sometimes when you have a hard time at first, it's not as bad as you would think. Now here I'm not as fond of the lineup on the back skirt, and I'm trying to see how to change it. The iris that's kind of in the middle there, I think I want to drag things over, but I don't know how much leeway I've got. Let's see what it actually looks like on a person on this mock-up. That's pretty cool, actually. Okay, see in the back. It's not horrible. I mean, it's the back. With me, my hair is long enough, you probably wouldn't see it, but let me just see if I can tweak it a little bit. So, the back bottom. See, I don't have too much on the side to side, but I have a little bit of leeway on the top bottom. Let me preview and just see. We're on person back. That'll be okay for now. But I want to see the flat. And getting a bit better. I don't mind the side to side as much. I want to bring it down a little bit if I can. Again, this is going to be a lot of sort of back and forth. This is all part of the design process. Each clothing item is a little bit different to get it lined up. Now, I mean, I'm not looking to match the flowers up exactly. I mean, this is Impressionism anyway. But I like the way the purples sort of flow a little bit better down the middle than they did with my first lineup. And we'll look here. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good. Let's take a look at the front again. Yeah, that looks good. Again, I mean, I'd like to offer a dress that has sleeves. There is a new one that Printify is offering. It's actually a long sleeve. I'd like something else, but that long sleeve is made in China, so I won't use it. This is the side view. There's left and there's right. Now we have a little bit of a problem. That's why you have to check all your views. See how the greens and the purples sort of make a firm line, and you don't see that over here? They sort of flow more naturally. I'm going to try something. I'm going to go, again, we're on the bottom. Now here, I'm going to do this horizontal flip on the far left there. And then I'm going to preview and see what it looks like on the sides. See if it gives me a better, closer match. See, that's sometimes what you have to do. But if you see that top iris up, down, it doesn't quite line up. This is tricky. Just oosh it a little bit. That's actually less than, but it doesn't look horrible. But then I have to see what it's done to the rest. Change, that looks nice. I like having that white flower right there. Let me see what the back looks like. That's what I flipped. Not bad. Okay. I mean, I'm not looking for perfection. I mean, as I said, this is an impressionist. It's not like you're doing a design that's got zigzags with straight lines or something you're trying to match up. But you're trying to get the best flow of color and everything. So the back still looks good. I just flipped the flowers around. Okay. Yeah, this looks good. Okay. I think I'm just gonna take one more look here. It's got a little bit of a line, but I mean, really, I mean, your arm is usually there anyway, and I really do like the way that white flower is right there on the side. So, I'm going to go ahead and go back to this, and then I will save product. Now, the only thing that I will probably do is I will take t-shirt off of this and the actual name, because the t-shirt dress was the other style. I've already sort of got all my description in here. And when you change the styles, it comes in with all the default pricing. Now, if we remember, so the cost is 21.26. It was about $6. We're talking about 27 to $28. You can see the 2XL is a couple dollars more. I like to have all my sizes of anything be the same price. Being a larger woman, I don't want to have to pay more just to get a larger size. I think that's rude. So I try to find a good middle ground, um, but having to figure the costs in there. So going to select all, and because I do include my shipping on everything, US shipping, I'm going to go ahead and just set a nice flat even price. These will be slightly more um, than like the t-shirt dress that was 37 over here, but given the longer fuller skirt and everything, I do think it's reasonable. um, and then once I have all of that, I want to go down here under variant visibility. I like to select this middle one, where it'll show everything that's available. Anything that isn't, like let's say for some reason the large gets sold out, it'll show as sold out and will just be like a gap where it jumps from medium to extra large and doesn't even show the large. So that's just a little thing. I do not want to where it says shipping profile have it automatically assigned, so I do edit. And I've got a couple extra things in here I need to delete over on Etsy, but these come over straight from Etsy. The bottom two are my main ones. I'm going to do standard items. $6 isn't too much to ship. I have a standard and a large items profile, and these are settings within your Etsy shipping. And I include shipping for everything for the US. It's when I have to start shipping international that with the costs and everything, it then adds shipping on. And my large items are things that'll be like my lamps, my pillows. Pillows are poofy and expensive to ship. So things that have a higher shipping cost, like over $10, I'll put a large items shipping profile. So once I have my shipping profile on there, I will publish this. This has been coming up lately. I just want to confirm everything. Printify's been changing a little bit lately. And then this will go ahead and it's publishing. It could take a couple minutes for it to go through and come over to here. We'll go back over. Should have just gone back, but here's addresses. And you see right now, because it's in the middle of updating, it's sort of blank. I'll go ahead and show you. Here's like another one of, this is what the style dress will end up looking like. So, this is my Gustav Klimt dress. Something I did here that was a little bit different. This is actually a portrait of this woman. Um, and I just left the pattern. I didn't actually put her portrait in here because with this style of the dress and it basically being cut in two halves, um, I just like the look of it better. It was very hard to get her centered with two pieces of fabric versus one, because the top and the bottom are two separate things. That was one where I had to significantly sort of change my style, but I really like it. I think it turned out nice. So, and here we go. Here's the irises. This is what we just worked on. And there it is. It's live. I like it. It looks good. It looks like, well, it depends on how tall this model is, but it should be right above the knees, or if you're short like me, maybe right at the knees. So that's basically how you do a replace to completely switch the style. Or it also works if, say, you've got a t-shirt and you want to change who your main t-shirt supplier is, or your t-shirt printer. There's a better price, there's more colors offered by somebody else. You can do a replace and switch to a different print supplier as well. So it's a handy tool to have without having to completely redo everything, type your description again, do all of that. Very helpful.